In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that people have said that offended me. Sharp Game coming at you with another video from ChooseYourRelationships.com off of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Now, I get a lot of questions from a lot of guys all the time. A lot of guys, they got white women as girlfriends, or they date a lot of white women, and a lot of times, a lot of these guys question their women's intentions behind some of the stuff that they say, and that's that's one of the main reasons why I don't date white women, and that's probably one of the main reasons why I don't date a lot of these other groups of women, even if they're non-white. There's certain groups of women I have not dated, and if you've been following me long enough, you know I have never dated white women. And one of the main reasons why that is because there's a lack of compassion and there's a lack of empathy for us living here, especially in the United States of America. And some of the stuff, first off, I'd like to say that what people say about me today doesn't offend me one bit. They can call me anything they want or feel like, as long as they don't touch me. Because at this point, I know who I am and I know where I came from. And at this point in my life, I've met every type of woman you could probably think of and imagine. I've met women that's on the pole. I've met the corporate women. I've met the prostitutes. I've met the escorts. I've met blue collar women. I met women that work corporate jobs, and after 5 o'clock they go to the strip club and get on the pole. I've met women that they work their job 5 days a week and they get on the pole on the weekends. I've met women that work their job and later on that night you might catch them on Backpage or on Craigslist doing something strange for a piece of change. I've met every type of woman you could probably think of at this point, all over the world. Women that's from all over the world. I haven't been all over the world, but I've met women from all over the world. That's the thing. From the islands, from continent of Africa, from Australia, Canada, South America, you name it. Except for the North Pole. I haven't met nobody from the North Pole, but but you get my drift. You understand where I'm coming from. But see, a lot of white women will say stuff, and a lot of these other groups of women will say stuff. They used to say a lot of stuff that offended me, because how can you say some of this stuff? And I know some of these other guys that have girlfriends as white women. I know they're hearing some of the same shit that I've heard when I was in my 20s, and I'm in my 40s now. So this is over 20 years ago I had these types of experiences, and I know it hasn't stopped because I'm still hearing the same type of attitude, same type of lingo from over 20 years ago from different types of guys. And I used to hear white women used to say stuff like, I'm not racist. I got black friends. They come over to my house. Well, you counting them? And just because you have black friends, that doesn't disqualify you from being a racist. Some of the biggest racists I know have treated me very nice over the past 20 years. So that doesn't really mean anything. And then you got some of them will say, well, I'm a liberal. That doesn't mean anything either. Or I'm a Democrat. Well, that doesn't mean anything either. And some of them will say, well, my boyfriend's black. So I can't be a racist. No, that doesn't mean anything either. Or I've donated money to the some organization in my town. That doesn't mean anything either. You know, a lot of these, I think a lot of white people say stuff because it sounds good, but in reality, at least in my reality, it's just coffee talk. You know, this type of talk is kind of a part of the status quo. I'll give you another example. I've had many run-ins with cops over the past 20 years. And what I used to do is tell other people about it, whites and blacks. And what used to happen was interesting. Half of the blacks, people that I knew, didn't believe me. And the majority of the white people didn't believe me. So I'm gonna say about the top 5% of white people, they kind of knew something was up, something ain't right, so they kind of believed me. They didn't actually come out and say it though. They said it indirectly. That's like 5%. And 95% of the whites did not believe me. They always say, hey, they always try to justify why I got stopped by the cops. Why I had run-ins, and half of the black people, I think both sides, I think on the black, for as far as the black people go, they'll say stuff because they're afraid in most cases. It's based on fear on most cases, and it makes sense if you know the history of how cops got started and all the stuff that happens in this country, you know. So I think on the black people's side it's fear based, the people that disagree, and on the white side it's more of they just want to keep shit going the way it is because they benefit from the way things are in society, even though most whites don't have anything to do with it, but they still benefit. So the reality is most whites don't want things to change. That's what it is. They don't want things to change. They like the way they're living. They don't want to have to give up anything for change in society. That's just reality. That's not my opinion. And if you don't believe it, talk to some of these white folks at your job, or the ones that you claim that they're your friends. See, and that brings up to another point. A lot of people will say, hey, how come you don't have no white friends? I said because they never said we were friends. That's why. That's a simple answer. So I said, hey, you have white friends? They said, yeah. So I said, well, what type of relationship do y'all have? I mean, what do y'all talk about? And what I found in most cases is white folks like certain types of people around them, certain types of black people around them. Now, a guy like me, they probably would be very uncomfortable with me being around them. Because see, the thing about me is I don't change when I get around certain people. I'm the same around everybody. I have no favoritism. See, I wasn't raised like that. My parents did not raise me to put on a dog and pony show and try to impress people. See, the average black person is going to, when they get around white folks, they're going to try to pander to them and make them comfortable. I don't do that with anybody. So one of the main reasons why the average white person would be uncomfortable with me is because I'm not trying to cater to anybody. I'm not trying to make anybody comfortable. This only person I'm trying to make comfortable is me and the people that I like and care about and love. That's it. If I don't know you that well, or if I don't know you at all, I'm not trying to make you comfortable just because you're of higher status, or just because you're white, just because you went to Ivy League school, or whatever, you know. But see, if you take two black people and you put them side by side, and you say, hey, you're friends with this guy, this couple, there's a, yeah, they're such good people. You know, and you talk to the other person, and they'll say that couple's their assholes. So you got one couple and two people's different opinions. And if you do some research, and if you pay attention long enough, what you're gonna find is the person that the average white folks like, that they say they like being around, this person is, the black person more than likely is gonna be acting all silly, trying to entertain white folks and making them laugh. And the other person, he's strictly business. He ain't seeking no validation from them at all. And see, more than likely, a guy like me, I'm going to be the person that they dislike. You know, so whenever I see a black person in the media, or a black person, when I'm out and about, if I see a lot of white people kind of cheering this person on and praising them, and kind of cheering on this black person, that's almost always a red flag, because I'm trying to figure out what the hell is this black man or woman doing to have all these white people like them so much, cheering them on and giving them awards and showing them all this validation, because that's very rare in the society that we live in. So I already know this black person has had to done something. It just didn't happen by accident. You know? And a lot of times, as soon as this black person does one thing wrong, they go from the hero to the zero. They go from A to Z. And if you don't believe it, look at Bill Cosby. This is a good example of it. They used to love Bill Cosby, along with the Jello pudding. He went from the Jello pudding man to the rapist. That's a good example of it. You only get, one mistake, you go from the Jello pudding pop to the rapist. So, you just gotta be careful out here. And if you're out here, out and about, socially meeting women and everything, just keep in mind, if you're a black male, you're alone. We're not protected. And nobody cares about you. If something happens to you, no one's going to really care very much. Your girlfriend, if she's a white woman, she's not going to know, more than likely she's not going to know what to say and what to do. And even if she knew what to do, more than likely she wouldn't do it anyway. And more than likely she's probably going to find some reason to stop talking to you anyway. And it doesn't matter if you're married to her, have kids with her either. Because more than likely, if y'all live together or y'all married, more than likely she didn't plan to be with you long term anyway. She's because the older she gets, more than likely she's going to be looking to take control of the little resources that you already have, in most cases, which ain't much. And she's going to be looking to upgrade, because most women in American society, they're always looking for the next new thing. And they're always looking to upgrade. And let's just be honest. Most white folks are not around us or around you just because she likes you. Don't be naive. She's around you for a certain reason. You know. Now if she wanted to be around a guy that she liked, she could go around with a white guy if that was the case. But she's not gonna be with you just because she likes you, because 9 times out of 10 she had to sacrifice her ties with her family, you know, because in the family's eyes, more than likely they don't want her to be with you anyway, and they never wanted her to be with you. But so she had to sacrifice what her parents, especially what her dad, would more than likely say and do to her, aka maybe kicking her out the family, taking her out the will, whichever case. So she made a lot of sacrifices to be with you, you know, in most cases. So she's not with you just because she likes you. It's almost impossible for her to do that, to be honest. Let's just keep it real. If she really wanted to be with a guy that she liked, she would have got with a white guy. That's just reality, you know. So I say all this to say is, don't get so caught up into what people say about you, because most women are just saying, most people just in general are just saying what sounds good, and they'll go along to get along. They'll do basically what other people have done before them, which ain't the smartest thing to do in the world. But hey, most people are like sheep. They're just regurgitating what they heard, and that regurgitation in most cases tends to be what they believe. And in most cases, they're never going to see you as their equal, regardless of your status, regardless of how good of a person you think you are, how much money you make, what kind of car you drive, house, where you live. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, nothing's going to change in this country until, I don't know, maybe the dollar crashes or these big institutions take over the economy, how the economy being shaped and molded or whatever, you know. So until something until something tragic really happens, that's when things will change. But as long as the people that are in power can dictate what happens in society, nothing is going to change. The way people think, it's not going to change, because the people that are in power have control of the propaganda. They have control of the media. They own the media. So the media can dictate the minds of the people because they control the content. So this is why a lot of white women, a lot of white people see us the way they do. You know, they're brainwashed just like a lot of black people are brainwashed. And just like a lot of these other groups of women, a lot of these groups of other people that come over here are brainwashed. They've taught them to basically hate us, despise us. But you know, the crazy thing is, a lot of white women, regardless of how much they hate you or hate me, they still don't mind getting a piece of some of that soul pole every once in a while, which is very interesting to me, you know. So hey, that's all I got in this video. If you like what you heard, give me a thumbs up, share this video, check out my website chooseyourrelationships.com, and check out my Patreon. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.